Tennessee Titans trading for Robert Woods from the LA Rams. The Rams made this move, obviously, after going and signing Allen Robinson in free agency. They have yet to re-sign OBJ, which I imagine that could or maybe could not happen. It'd be so crazy if OBJ somehow ended back up in Cleveland. Could you imagine?
There's no way that could happen.
It'd be nuts. I know he didn't rule it out, but I don't think it's going to be this year. But for him, he's obviously not going to be ready for the start of the season. Probably maybe in the second half of the season, OBJ will be ready, barring some medical miracle about ACLs. Obviously, tearing your ACL in the Super Bowl, which is not ideal in a sense. I imagine maybe around November, December, he could be ready. But then again, I would even think January. Then again, who knows? I could be wrong. For the Titans, I'm going to give them my grade. I've got mine locked in. I think this is a good trade here for the Tennessee Titans here, Tommy. I'm going to hold mine up. I've got mine locked in. 3, 2, 1. I'm giving it an A grade. Okay. Why do you have it as a B? Why do you have it as a B?
My thing is, I've got to trust Ryan Tannehill to take advantage of it. What we saw with Robert Woods stemmed a lot from what he did with Matthew Stafford. And I think we can all sit here and believe that Matthew Stafford is a far better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. Also, Robert Woods coming off this injury. How long is it going to take for him to progress and kind of get back to where he was beforehand? I think it's a good complement piece with someone like an A.J. Brown, who also dealt with his own injury concerns last year, but in his first 2 years in the NFL proved like that touchdown upside was not just a fluke in his rookie season. Hopefully he kind of gets back to that. If he does, then all of a sudden they've got a really good 1-2 punch. A.J. Brown kind of taking those some more vertical shots. Robert Woods kind of working that intermediate route. A great route runner. Works really well over the middle when he knows contact is coming, hangs onto the ball really well. One of the more underrated wide receivers that we kind of saw last year was like, okay, who's going to be the number one? Is it Cooper Kupp or is it Robert Woods? Both guys found a lot of success, although it was absolutely the Cooper Kupp's year to shine last year, winning the Triple Crown for most leading all receivers, yards, receptions, and touchdowns, and also targets. So I like the trade for Robert Woods, but it all comes down to whether or not Ryan Tannehill can take advantage of it in what has predominantly been a rushing forward attack.
I don't know if this is going to be a hot take, but in terms of Robert Woods, remember when they let Corey Davis go to the New York Jets in free agency? I felt like Corey Davis was a massive part of the Tennessee Titans offense and also allowing A.J. Brown to eat because of the fact that when you're running that play action, he was getting across the field here. I think Robert Woods can have a similar, if not a bigger impact than what we saw with Corey Davis in the Titans offense here. I think this is the one move. This wasn't what Julio was meant to do. Julio was not meant to play this role that obviously you saw Corey Davis playing, or you even see at that standpoint now what we can expect to see with Robert Woods. This type of scheme, I think, really fits what Robert Woods can excel at, especially across the field. I think this has a big time impact for them. And hey, we're going to wait and see how it all goes. But for the LA Rams side of things here, what would you give them in terms of a grade? I feel like for them, it's a pretty decent move for them, considering the fact that, hey, you're trading away a guy that had such an impact on your team. And when he went down with an injury, everyone was wondering, what the hell are the Rams going to do? How are they going to be the same? Yeah. Because Bobby Trees was kind of the motor of that offense here. He was the thing that made it go. Now you've added contributions. Look, Cooper Kupp's ridiculous. Now you've added Allen Robinson to the mix. The anticipation OBJ is going to be back. You have Higbee still a tight end. And you still have Cam Akers who's probably going to see a really big accelerated role in the offense this season, staying healthy more than likely. For the Rams, I've got my grade locked in. Tommy, are you ready? I'm going to give it. Okay, go 3, 2, 1. I'm giving it an A. C-. Oh, this might be the furthest we've been off on today's show. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me why you think this is a C- for the Rams.
For the Rams, they got back a 2023 6th-round pick. That's it for Robert Woods. I get you've got something like this team that say, F them picks. I get that. A 6th-round pick in a year from now does you nothing this year. Like the Los Angeles Rams did not need to trade away Robert Woods. The people saying that are the ones that have the Rams receivers in fantasy football, because you still don't know when is Odell Beckham Jr. going to be back. I don't know. So you now went from a team where you could have had Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, and
Ben Skowronek, Ben Skowronek,
the
Notre Dame guy.
So you're now, pretty much. So you're now down to having
rough end of the season, by the way.
Yeah, I did. So you're now down to having Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, and now you're hoping Van Jefferson to be the number 3. You could have been 5 deep, and now you're just 3 deep. And after you paid Matthew Stafford this massive contract extension, like this to me, this was a move the Rams did not have to make. Like I get it frees up a little bit of salary cap that's only going to help out if you do land Bobby Wagner or potentially Jadeveon Clowney also during free agency, which are both rumored to go there. So for me right now, I cannot give this that good of a grade because I don't think it was a necessary move.
I think that's fair, but I will counter with this, saying that if Les Snead wants to, which like we said, the whole F them picks mantra that he's got, he could just offset that 6th-rounder as well. I mean, for more players, like more. He's going to get rid of it. And obviously, hey, shout out to Trey Wingo.
Is a 6th-round pick moving the needle?
You never know. Like, that's the thing. Like, we see undrafted guys come in every year and all of a sudden have an impact. You know, the mid-rounders, I feel like you get more positive hits with the mid-round picks than you do necessarily with first-rounders. But then again, it's like,
I mean, to me, like Elijah Mitchell is like an outlier for what he did last year. Kind of, you saw the draft capital compare between him and like a Trey Sermon. Like a 6th round pick normally is going to be like a guy you're hoping makes your roster on special teams.
True.
You're not going to most likely get a Robert Woods level impact player with the 6th round pick.